Hello everyone, welcome to another exciting episode of Dayspring Discussions. I'm your host, Sean McGahee. In this show, we talk about movies, TV, sci-fi, fantasy, comic books. If you geek out about it, we're going to talk about it. You can listen to Dayspring Discussions on iTunes, YouTube, Podomatic, and Patreon, and contact Dayspring Discussions on the Facebook group, Twitter account, and dayspringdiscussions@gmail.com. Well, happy Thursday, everyone. Hope you are enjoying your week. It is a nice and sunny day here in Austin, Texas, and we got a good one for you today, guys, because it's CW superhero time. That's right, guys. Last week, Supergirl had their season finale for season 3. All the CW superhero shows, part of the Arrowverse, are now on break. And just like last year, I am joined by Mr. Aaron Vaccaro to talk all about it. Aaron, what's up?
Oh, man, I am glad to be back. It's been a whole year since last time we talked, and been a lot of shows and stuff going on.
You know, there's a lot going on. We added a couple new shows, not only with Black Lightning, but also you had on the CW Seed, you had the Ray and Constantine. And, you know, let's not forget that on the CW Seed, you have Vixen, Ray, and Constantine, which are also part of the Arrowverse as well. We're not going to get into them, but if you guys haven't checked them out, go ahead and do that, especially after Crisis on Infinite Earths. It really wanted me to get to check out the Ray, because it's part of that whole thing as well. We'll get into the Crisis, you know, here in a little bit, but starting off, let me just get your ranking here, okay? So we've got 5 shows we're going to talk about: Black Lightning, Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, and Legends of Tomorrow. And let's see here. So Black Lightning was the premiere one. Arrow did season 6, Flash did season 4, and then Supergirl and Legends had season 3. So Aaron hasn't quite done his homework. He admits that he did not finish Black Lightning or Supergirl. So
most of Black Lightning, but like nothing with Supergirl.
But for Black Lightning, it wasn't out of lack or dullness. You know, you just couldn't get to it. So give me, out of the 5, give me your favorite season to least favorite season.
Okay, so this year, the seasons that went by, I got to give it up to Legends of Tomorrow.
Okay.
So for me, you know, just the freshness and everything, they're progressively getting better. You know,
they are.
I feel like Arrow, you know, you get your up seasons, your down seasons, all that kind of stuff. But this year, Golden Trophy, Legend of Tomorrow. After that, I'm going to go with Flash, just because I'm a huge Barry Allen fan. Followed up by Arrow. And then I'm giving it up to Black Lightning, and then Supergirl.
Oh, man. See, Black Lightning, man, it's on the top, man. I mean, I enjoyed Legends. Like, I sat here just, you know, an hour ago, and I was thinking, did I like Legends better, or did I like Black Lightning better? Now, I think Black Lightning, just because it has the edge of it was a shorter season because it was the first season. She only had 13 episodes. Plus, Legends had that little bit of a break as well. And it's been so long because what they did was they continued Legends after their winter break and continued on. And then they had Supergirl. And Legends has been over for like months now. And then Supergirl continued, and they just ended their season last week, where the other seasons have been over for like about a month or so. So, you know, that's still fresh, and that's one of those things I was sitting here watching. We were reviewing the last clips of each finale, and there's some stuff I couldn't remember because it's been so long since I've seen this stuff, actually, too. So for me, I'm going to give Black Lightning number 1. I love the show. It's so different compared to the others because mainly it's got, you know, an older middle-aged superhero, and it talks about the social issues that are, you know, going on in the world right now. I think if you've seen the show, you know what I'm talking about. Number 2, of course, got to be Legends. I hated Legends until this season.
I've liked it since day one.
I never watched a full season. I watched a couple episodes in season 1, couple episodes in season 2, but this season I got through it a little bit. The first couple episodes I was on board. I lost it a little way there, but then I came back when they came back from their winter break, and like I binged like 5 episodes, and I'm like, done. You know, I'm there, definitely. The next one, I'm probably going to go with Flash. You know, I like that they had a different villain this season, not a speedster.
That was nice.
It could be pros or cons, depending on what, you know, you think about that. Arrow, I'll put that, you know, Arrow's a little weak, actually. I'll get into that, you know, in a little bit. And then, of course, I'll put Supergirl because that was the weakest I like I told you that second to last episode of Supergirl, I was watching it, I fell asleep, and the episode was over, and I'm like, I really don't care to rewatch it.
Yep. And
I don't care.
Well, you ranked Supergirl high last year, right?
Last year was better, yeah. But here's the thing about Supergirl was, I don't like. For me, I'm an overall story guy. Mm-hmm. Like the fact that these seasons are 22 or 23 episodes, way too long.
It's daunting sometimes. Like, I go through it, I'm just like, oh my god, I got
I know,
10 shows.
And there's so much filler crap in there. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
And so I'm over all these episodes that are just filler episodes or stuff that doesn't matter. I hate it. I want the overall story arc. With Supergirl, it was weird because I didn't like the overall story arc. The whole Rain thing did not interest me at all. I didn't like the actress who played Rain/Sam, but the individual episodes I liked. Like there was an episode where there was the group that was worshiping Supergirl as a god, where they kind of commented on religion a little bit. There was an episode where they're talking about gun control. Again, social issues. And I'm like, they're individual episodes. Oh, and the whole thing with her sister and the breakup with Maggie. Yeah. And that whole thing, man, that was a great relationship. Gotta say, I love how that ended right afterwards in the crisis. Yep. But anyway, okay, so we got our seasons going. So let's just start off with the freshman, Black Lightning. Give me your overall thoughts on Black Lightning. What'd you like? What'd you not like? And stuff like that.
First off, Black Lightning suit, man, that is sweet. That's probably my favorite part of the whole thing.
Well, and also too, I thought it was different because Black Lightning premiered around like January, February, okay? So just as a little trivia, Black Lightning was the first black DC superhero that premiered in the comic books. And also around February, in the theaters, you got Black Panther, who was Marvel's first black superhero. So I thought it was fun that in the theaters, we were getting our first black superhero up on screen, and then DC brought their first black superhero to the small screen, so that was cool. But go for it.
Well, and then his suit, I like the way that his suit looks and everything. And apparently, because I never really knew Black Lightning before the series, but apparently, back when he was fighting crime the first time, because this is his second go around at fighting crime. Yeah. He didn't really have a suit. He just relied mainly on his powers. And apparently he was addicted to his powers, and the suit helps him kind of control everything.
Yeah, it channels it all.
Yeah, which I think that is, not necessarily a character, but that's like a, story arc of its own, which is really, really interesting. Also, like you said, it touches on all social issues.
Yeah, especially from that very first episode when he gets pulled over by the cop. Yep. It's like, damn, it's going to go there, Yep. And I'm watching, I'm almost done with Luke Cage Season 2 on Netflix. And, it does that whole, African-American history thing in Harlem, kind of going to the roots of it all. But I feel like Black Lightning is so much more effective of it.
Oh, for sure.
It's really, it gets right into the issues, I think. Yep. And that's, again, and because of the fact that it is a different kind of superhero than what we've gotten from the CW. Because, you got Oliver Queen, Barry Allen, the Supergirl. They're all, 20-something, hot, young kids. And here we have a guy who is middle-aged, who has been a superhero and retired. Yep. He's got kids. He's trying to protect his family. He's trying to protect his neighborhood. All this stuff going on. It's a different perspective than what we've gotten from other shows on the CW.
Yeah, and what I think he does is he tries to make his community better the whole time.
Yeah, he's a principal.
Yeah, Barry Allen is the Flash, and outside of the Flash, he's a forensic scientist.
He's a cop, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't really do... he does stuff, don't get me wrong, but, he is more proactive
when was the last time we saw Barry actually do any cop work?
Dude, I haven't seen that in a while,
Well, he got thrown in prison this year, so...
That was kind of cool, too, him getting...
we'll talk about that, okay. Stay on Black Lightning, stay on target, okay. What do you think about the kid, his daughters? Thunder and I forget what's his daughter's name. See, this is why I do this. I have IMDb pulled up so I can pull up their names right off the bat. So we had Thunder, which is Anissa, and then you also had his other daughter, Jennifer.
Yeah.
So what do you think of the daughters?
So I think it's nice how one of them's rebellious and, like any teenager would be, getting through school and having the pressures of a dad as a principal, which I feel is relatable. Yeah. So that's what I like about his kids. Now, Thunder... that is a cool story arc too, because she is just the same as Mr. Pierce. He's she has the same genetics, same everything. I think that's a cool little father-daughter team. Yeah,
I like that. The slow motion walk they have, they're walking out of a building that's exploding and they're doing the superhero slow-mo walk. Yeah. I was like, it's a superhero slow-mo walk. Yeah.
Well, I think it's cool how the mom also is like a doctor too, and
yeah, genetics,
so, well, and it's all like it's like a family.
It's a family thing, of course.
Which who's the guy that works in the tailor shop? What's that?
Gamby.
Gamby, yeah, that guy.
I liked. He was good. He had his secrets, trying to hold off from Jefferson.
Yep.
But of course, as we just saw, in the finale, he shoots the main bad guy, the government guy they've been working for. I liked what was the original like gang member, Lala.
Lala, yeah.
That he was working with. Yep. Okay, that in the first couple episodes, but then what's his name? Tobias killed him.
Yeah.
I liked him better than the current villain of Tobias. I'm not a fan of the Tobias, to be honest. Really? What do you think about him?
I don't know. Like, I think he's like creepy looking, and how his eyes kind of like shift around and stuff. And I don't know. Like, I really have no opinion one way or the other. Like, the parts of Black Lightning that I like is like when he's going through those small Close Quarter combat, and he's just fighting just the thugs.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's like the thrilling part.
Keep it street level, exactly. Yeah. And it's kind of like, within the Arrowverse, one thing I liked about those first couple of seasons of Arrow was it was very reality based, almost like kind of like Dark Knight, Christopher Nolan kind of stuff, where you could see all this stuff happening. And as the Arrowverse has grown, we've gotten more and more away from that. I mean, you introduced metahumans in the Flash, you introduced time travel and all that with Legends, you got aliens with Supergirl, so it's getting bigger and bigger away from that Arrow roots, but I think this kind of brings it back a little bit more, you have superpowers, but it's street level.
Oh yeah,
is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, and plus he's still getting intel from the police chief, and like he has to do his due diligence like a real detective, rather than Flash where he relies on Cisco vibing, and trying to figure out what's going on from that.
That's true. I think he's gonna. I think I can see in season 2 definitely the circle growing, much how with Arrow and Flash they've all like grown to add more people to the team, which is something that was always annoyed me with Arrow and Flash. How many people like know their secrets and are part of the team and stuff like that. I don't like that. I want to keep it simple. So I think they're gonna add a couple more people. So okay, talking finale now. Gamby shoots the bad guy. The mom, what's her name? Lynn. She's talking about how she knows someone that can help the kids that are held captive. And Tobias opens up some kind of briefcase, and we don't know exactly what's in it. What do you think season 2 is going to come for?
Man, I don't know. I mean, I feel like maybe we'll see some more powers.
More people with powers.
More people with powers. Not necessarily. They're not metahumans, are they? They're like altered genetically.
They're altered genetically, yeah. Because that's what the whole thing was. Is there was like 30 years ago, the government came in and experimented with him, and that's how Jefferson got his powers. He then passed that on to his kids, and now the government was back doing more experiments.
Yeah. So maybe Tobias is going to kind of weaponize, maybe not necessarily the children, but weaponize the powers that they have.
You think he's going to become like a meta himself, where he gets superpowers, or?
Yeah, potentially. Well, no, because he doesn't. Isn't he on like some type of like juice that like gives him superpower and
a little bit? Yeah, something along that.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't think necessarily he's going to upgrade himself, but I think like he's just going to somehow do like a band of villains. That's a theme.
We should do. Yeah, I would love to see like a band of villains get together to try to take on Thunder and Lightning. I'm wondering if Jennifer is going to get her suit next season too, maybe,
cool.
Where she joins in the fight. But that's the thing too. She was talking about how this whole season, how she found out she had powers. She didn't want them. She didn't want to be a superhero. She didn't want to go out and help people. She wanted to be just a regular kid. Whether she's going to continue to try to do that or try to help out, we'll wait and see about that.
Yeah.
But one thing too about Black Lightning is it's on the CW. It's a superhero show produced by Greg Berlanti, who's done all the Arrowverse shows. We still don't know if it's actually in the Arrowverse. The only clue that we've gotten is when Lynn is talking to Jennifer, and she's talking about how, I'm not Supergirl or I'm not Vixen.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the only mention of anyone else in the Arrowverse.
Yeah.
Some people think that it's an alternate Earth, of course, which, they could use that easily. And some people are saying maybe it's a world that's the Supergirl, Earth, where Supergirl is from, because there's not a lot of superheroes flying around in Supergirl's Earth. So maybe, the fact that this is far away, low-key, in the, Freeland, maybe it's in there. That's one theory I've heard as well. Do you think it's in that world? Do you think it's not? Do you think maybe Black Lightning is going to play into, join the mix in the Crisis or crossovers.
I definitely don't think he's on the same Earth as Arrow and Flash.
I don't think so either. No,
I think if anything, it would probably be its own separate kind of place.
Yeah. I mean, they can get away with it. They talked about all the Earths. It could easily be one of the other Earths.
Well, and isn't that a main theory in the DC comics where there's just all these different
there's
Earths,
the multiverse.
Yeah,
yes.
So that
it's an easy cop out.
Yeah,
it's an easy cop out.
Yeah.
In that instance, and I'm fine with that. But yeah, the fact that the mom mentioned Supergirl and Vixen, who aren't even on the same Earth. I'm like, well, I don't know what's going on. I really don't know what's going on. I don't know if they're going to try to keep it separate. I will say this. I love the fact that it's 13 episodes. And, I hate how these shows, I know they have to make 20-something episodes because it's in their contract. They have to do it.
Yeah.
But even like I said, I'm watching Luke Cage. It's 13 episodes. And I'm getting bored. There's so much, even some filler in 13 episodes, And I hate that. Give me a tight, strong season. 10 episodes probably is all you need to tell the story.
Like Arrow season 1 and 2, they had two different storylines going on at the same time.
With flashbacks, yeah.
So I mean, they could break it up that way, but now that doesn't work for anyone really.
Yeah, well, I think it's one of those things too. Is now as an audience because of cable shows that have gotten smaller seasons, and even Netflix or even Game of Thrones has like 8 episodes or 7 episodes.
Yeah,
we're becoming more accustomed to tighter, faster storytelling. Mm-hmm. So like I get so bored with this stuff sometimes when they're not talking about the bigger narrative.
Yep.
In 22 episodes, I'm like, gosh dang, I could easily just give me half a season and it's done.
Yeah, and it's so easy to get fall behind and everything too
because there's so much. Exactly. There's so much to watch, and they might have like out of a 42 minutes, they might have only like 5 minutes that actually relate to the bigger story arc.
Yep.
But you got to watch it if you want to find it.
Yep.
So yeah. All right. Anything else you want to talk about Black Lightning?
No. I think that wraps it up for me on Black Lightning.
But I'm excited for season 2.
Season 2 is.
You need to go and finish season 1. He's not finished season 1.
3 more episodes.
Go, just watch it. Your Brianna's finished it, right? Your girl's finished it.
Yeah, she's seen it.
And she loves it, right?
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
I'd say she doesn't like Legends, believe it or not. She prefers, her favorite's Flash. So we watch Flash religiously.
So Lisa, my wife, watched most of season 1 of Flash, and then she fell behind and never caught back up.
Yeah.
But I will say this, is she watches the stuff over my back as she's walking through the living room or whatever. So she knows the shows a little bit.
Uh-huh.
When Supergirl comes out on Netflix, probably in the next week or two, and you can watch all 4 parts without commercials, I'm going to make her sit down and watch it.
All the way through?
Because that's the thing. We're going to hold off on Crisis. Yeah. Hold off on Crisis.
Okay.
Holding off on Crisis. Okay. Let's go to the other earlier shows. So let's just go Supergirl.
Okay.
You didn't finish it. I don't know how far you are.
So far behind.
Like I said, with Supergirl, first off, I don't know what it is. I think Melissa Benoist did something different to her hair, but she got hotter this season for some reason. I don't know what it was. Like she highlighted her hair or something. That's just my observation on that.
Hey, man.
But anyway, I could talk about some of the ladies on this show that are different. But in any event, you had Rain, which was a Kryptonian villain hiding in plain sight, kind of an evil version of Supergirl almost. But also, you come to find out, I know you don't know this because you're not that far ahead, that her mother is still alive, and a piece of Krypton survived the explosion, has been living out in space, actually, surviving. And she finds them, and at the end, her mother comes back with her to help her defeat Rain, and then they go back to their colony, and Supergirl stays because she knows her place is on Earth, she needs to protect Earth, stuff like that. Also, in the end, we have Winn leaves with the Legion, a.k.a. Mon-El, and Brainiac 5 stays. So Winn has gone on to say that the actor is going to has to have a recurring character. He's not one of the main characters, but then Brainiac 5 is. I hate Brainiac 5.
Yeah.
He's got the makeup. It's horribly done. He looks stupid. I don't like the character. And especially when I've watched Krypton now and seen Brainiac in that, oh my God, it puts Brainiac 5 to shame. I mean, it makes it look like it's like cosplay or something.
Dude, watching Supergirl, I just don't know what it is. It's not the fact that, I'm interested in Supergirl in general. I just think that it's just kind of poor, not storytelling, but just character.
And like I said,
it's kind of the whole thing.
The individual episodes, like this season, there was like a run of like 4 or 5 episodes there midway through the season that I thought were phenomenal. I loved them. They were talking about like their relationships and like again social issues and stuff like that I thought were great. But this Bigger Rain, it just does not interest me. I don't know if it's the fact that again I don't like the actress that plays the villain, Sam. I don't, like that. I don't like her involvement. She just happens to be Lena Luthor's secretary. I will say I do like that Lena and Jimmy hooked up.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
on.
they hooked up and they're kind of together, and they kind of have formed this trust where they're toward the end of the season there. Jimmy kind of chose Lana over Supergirl a little bit. So I'm curious to see how that develops. Which Lana, Lana's like. She's hot. She's not hot. She's hot. She's not hot.
Yeah.
I can't decide on her, really. I don't know. Other big thing, of course, with Alex, her and Maggie broke up this season.
Yep.
They did such a good job of establishing that relationship.
Yep.
And Alex, coming out in the last season, I loved it. It was a great relationship, the way it's all played out. Especially up to this breakup.
Yep.
That
just
part
the way
they
they
played.
see.
The fact that, it wasn't about them being gay. It was the fact that she wanted kids, Maggie didn't, which is something that can happen in any relationship, straight or gay. And, they played it out so nice. And then there was those episodes or right afterwards where she was wondering if she regretted her decision, wasn't quite sure if she made the right one. It was the way they played that character is great. And I know you haven't gotten to the end of the season, but pretty much what's happened is she's actually taking over for John, where she's going to lead the department.
Oh, okay.
John is stepping away to go explore the Earth and try to help more people.
As Martian Manhunter?
As Martian Manhunter, which is something in Martian Manhunter comic books he's done. He goes out, he's played like a detective before sometimes and kind of going to walk the Earth and he's going to help people, whatever. So Alex is taking over and she's talking about how she wanted to quit originally to start her family or start, thinking about a family, even if it's by herself.
Yeah.
And John's like, nope, I'm going to have you take over. And she's like, you can do both.
Yeah.
That's kind of what he left with. So the fact that she's running stuff means maybe she won't be in the field as much. But again, I think in the next one, they're going to have her start a family, whether it's by herself or whether she starts something. A baby will pop up. And these shows, you get a baby in the mix. And it's all cute and stuff like that. So, but I was my least favorite season just because I didn't like the overall story arc. I like some of the individual things they did with characters, but overall, not my favorite. Obviously, not your favorite.
Yeah, I mean, it just, I don't know. Like, I started.
But it was last on your list. You had Black Lightning, then Supergirl as your last, right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So it's last on both our lists.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping because so it's finale.
Yeah, if it gets good, I'll
finale. Like we just watched it, and they had that Blackstone that allegedly, got rid of Rain because Sam and Rain have been separated in those last couple episodes. Got rid of her, but it looks like the effect is maybe it created another version of Kara, which ends up in Siberia, which has got fans believing that they're going to play off the Superman Red Sun storyline, which in an alternate timeline, Kal-El doesn't land in Kansas. He lands in Russia in the 30s instead of Kansas in the 30s. And he grows up in communist Russia, becomes this dictator. Maybe play that off where, she's going to have to go up against the Red Daughter version of herself in season 3, which I can see being interesting. I want a better season at what we got right now. I thought season 2 was really good. I thought individual episodes in season 3 were good. But again, overall, I want more. I want better from it all.
I would like a non-alien villain.
Well, I mean, they did set up with Lana. She's talking to Miss Tessmacher, who is a known associate of Lex's, and they're probably working something with that rock that it looked like. I want to say it's almost like black kryptonite-esque or something along those lines. But it was, she's definitely plotting something. Yeah. And in this season, she was synthesizing kryptonite. She was making kryptonite actually, which was what pissed Supergirl off. Yeah. So again, she's in there. She's planning something, and maybe that'll come into fruition later down. And I want them, if they do something like that, play off the James storyline where his loyalties lie. Yeah. Test that. But yeah, I mean, it's there, but they just need to refine it a little bit.
Yeah, a little more character development, things like that.
Exactly. All right, moving on. The other series that got a season 3, Legends of Tomorrow.
Yes,
so
sir.
This was probably the funnest thing because I think really Legends this season finally found their footing.
Yep.
Where it's like, hey, we're this wacky, outrageous, crazy show, let's just own it.
Yep.
You know, let's just be that crazy of a show. And again, they started off with like kind of like doing like the demon thing. They brought in Constantine.
Yep.
And I wasn't really digging that too much. But then they got to the stones.
Yeah.
The what is it? The
Zimbazi.
what are they? They have a
spirituals.
I want to say they're not stones, 'cause stones are the Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
Emblems, medallions.
Yeah.
They had something for them. But anyway, yeah. So that was cool. But it was fun because people were making fun of the fact that we were just about to have Avengers: Infinity War, where Thanos was coming for all the Infinity Stones that controlled reality, and then Legends had their own Infinity War where everyone was going for the stones of the different elements and stuff like that. So, but that was cool. Okay, Legends to Tomorrow Season 3 thoughts.
All right, so I think all in, it was interesting. And what I like about Legends, what I didn't like was the anachronisms. So those ones were like kind of like boring storylines, like when they go back to the carnival and stuff like that. Not a big fan of that. But Malice, them fighting the Time Demon, and they have that not alternate universe, but alternate like realm, you know, where Malice lives in that Time Demon zone. Yeah, that was kind of cool.
Yeah,
you know, and it's not necessarily the multiverse, but it was a cool little show. What about it? Firestorm being gone. That was kind of a sad day.
We'll get to that. We'll get to Crisis. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else really happened that, you know.
Well, I love what they did with Maya, like the her thing at the end there, where you know they're time traveling and they're going back to when her village was slaughtered, and it's like they couldn't change it because you know the Legends. They what is I love that little line there. It was like I think it was at the end of the season or the beginning. It was like we screw reality up, but usually for the better. Yeah. Hey, that should be our catchphrase. Yeah, it was great. So yeah, they didn't want to. They kept screwing up reality or you know time. And they don't want to do it again. And Amaya, you know, wanted to save her people, but it had to be that way to, you know, for things to play out the way they're supposed to.
Yeah, it was a major event. And you know what? Like, just all in. Like, it was, I mean, they had so many.
They went crazy. Like I said, they went all in on the craziness.
Yeah.
And that's when it got good.
Yeah, you know, and plus Rory, you know, breaks it all up too. And like everyone, Rip. So I like Rip because he's, you know, Booster's, you know, son, so like I really want a Booster Gold. Like that's why like
eventually they're gonna get Booster Gold.
I would love to see that. That's like my favorite hero because he's just like kind of a tool. And that's what I like about it.
And that's what I love about you know this not only this show but the Arrowverse in general is you have these B, C, D level characters and they work better than what the movies are right now because because whoever's writing them for the most part knows what they're all about and how to use them.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and then it's just so and then. The cool thing about Legends is I feel like they cycle through characters faster than someone else, so you see a lot more personalities, which can be a bit overwhelming.
Yeah, it can be too much. I mean, you definitely have that rotating team.
Yeah.
Of course, season 1 was totally different from what we have now.
Yeah.
With the team, you have like, 3 or 4 members that were still there?
Yep.
But, of course, the main character still, I feel like Sarah Lance, where you focus more on her. She's in a relationship, of course, a good relationship, in my opinion. Yeah. But, you know, anyway. But, yeah, of course, the focus was still on her. So, season finale, they're on the beach, kind of, you know, sipping Mai Tais or whatever in Aruba. And Constantine shows up and says, hey, open up this portal to defeat this demon. It caused more trouble. And I was like, whose idea was it? Sarah's?
Yep.
So, and then it said that Constantine is going to be a regular on the show now this next season.
Yeah.
And however, Wally West is not. He's going to be so. I liked having Wally, and that's one of the things with going with Flash is I'm glad he left because much like the character, I thought he was just in Barry's shadow. You know, two speedsters. You didn't really need that on the show. I like that. You know, in this one he matters on Arrow because of it in Legends, because of his speed, because he's someone different from everyone else, and because of his speed, of course, there's always that thing where you feel like he can solve every problem a little too easily as well. So maybe him not sticking around is a good thing.
Yeah, I think it'll give them more hills to climb, you know, and find new solutions for problems.
I did like having him around, though. I thought he was something a little different, and I thought I liked the character of Wally West, so bringing him just in a different setting, I thought really worked. You had him and Nate.
Yeah.
And they were like geeking out together. They became good friends.
Yep.
That was really cool. And of course, Nate and Amaya, the way that whole relationship was handled.
That was like the main,
so good.
That was a big plot line of that whole.
It was.
Yeah.
And I love at the end there that he didn't wipe her mind,
Yeah.
And I think it's going to come into play. I don't think we've seen the last of Amaya. I think the show creators have even said we haven't seen the last of her.
Yeah.
I don't know how that whole thing's going to play out because she needs to be there in 1942. I don't know. We'll wait and see. But like I said, it just went all in on the craziness. I wasn't a fan of the show until this season.
Yep.
And I loved what they did because it was just so far out there. It was just like, hey.
And they're jumping forward in time. This last season, they jumped forward in time to go see Ava in the future and stuff like that. That was cool.
The Ava whole thing, with her.
That was a weird, but I was kind of digging it.
Again, it was crazy. It was totally zany craziness, and it finally found its footing to be like, hey, let's embrace it all. We also picked up a new cast member, Zari, right?
Yep, Zari.
Yeah, she was. She's got another one of those. What's her? Hers is fire.
No, hers is the wind.
Wind, okay, that's what it is.
Yeah, but hers is, she's real interesting because she's like a feminist, and then she likes to do stuff on her own.
When she's hooking up with Jonah Hex.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. And that's another thing I like about Legends is you see all these like random characters like Jonah Hex, because he was in there in the beginning of the season and the end of last season.
Yeah,
and then you see him at the finale too.
Yeah, it's one of the things where they go throughout time. I'm not big on I'm in the bigger story guy. I'm a bigger overarch guy. So individual episodes where they go to Camelot or go to the Old West, and I'm like, unless it pertains to the bigger story arc, I'm like, whatever,
Yeah, no, I agree.
And I'm glad, Jonah Hex, I'm glad they brought him back. It was cool to see everyone in the Wild West outfits again and stuff like that. Yeah. So, but again, the ladies are doing it. Yeah. The ladies are doing it in this show, You got Amaya, you got Sarah, you got Zaria. I'm digging it.
Yeah, it's a cool cast. It's fun, too. They always come up with, wacky new things to do. And, you said, it's zany,
And it seems like Ray took a shining to our bad guy, Nora as well.
Yeah, that's cool. Nora was a great villain.
And he gave her a time stone.
Yep.
So I'm curious what he thinks is going to come of that.
I don't know, because Damien, he's dead, right? Damien's dead.
Allegedly dead, but we're dealing with time here. Anything can happen. Yeah. I mean, Damien died at the end of season 4 of Arrow, and then he came back, know?
So, I don't know. I think, I don't think she'll be a main character.
When you're dealing with reality and time, anything can happen.
Oh, for sure.
And that's kind of one of those things where hey, let's just take a dartboard and see where it lands.
Yeah, that's it. So... leaves it open-ended.
Exactly. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm finally on board with Legends. I'm all in. I haven't been for this series, but now I am. It's going to be exciting to see what they come up with now. Who knows? I might fall off it again if it gets a little stale, but as of right now, I'm down with Legends tomorrow.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to have more demons this coming season. Because there's always the anachronisms they're trying to fix.
Yeah.
And then they open up the portal to the demon world, and maybe that's what they're fighting now.
I would love to see them bring in more demon-esque stuff as well.
That dragon head that they have.
Well, I mean, there are a lot of characters like Justice League Dark, like Zatanna, Swamp Thing, even Raven from Teen Titans. They all deal with the supernatural or demon-esque stuff.
Yeah.
I would like to see bring something like that in. I know cool. Maybe not just because you have the whole DC streaming service that's going to have Swamp Thing and Teen Titans and stuff like that. But, we've gotten 2 Flashes on movies and TV. Why not, have 2 in other realities? I don't know.
DC's killing it, so...
The TV is crushing it.
Yeah,
TV is crushing it. I'm not going to talk about the movies, though.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go with our second Arrowverse show that premiered, Flash Season 4. So in this one, it was an interesting season because it was the first season we didn't get a speedster for Team Flash to fight.
Yeah,
we had the Thinker in this one as well. We also saw Barry and Iris get married.
Yep.
And that's kind of what I loved about this season 2 is when you look back on it, it was a couple versus a couple.
Yeah.
It was, Barry and Iris versus the Thinker and his wife, Clifford, and what was her name?
I don't know.
What is her name? I don't see her on here. That's not her. That's not her. Who's that? That's not her, is it? Hold on.
Is it?
Yeah, that is her, yeah. Her name, Marliese.
Oh yeah,
Marlies, okay, yeah, that's her name. Sorry, we're looking at IMDb because we can't remember this stuff, guys. So yeah, it was a couple versus couple, and at the end, of course, Marlies kind of saw that her husband was a little crazy.
Yeah,
and
he lost himself.
He did.
You know, it's a dark matter, man. That stuff will tear you up.
That is definitely what it is all about.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we saw Caitlin battle with Killer Frost in this season as well too. Yep. Again, it was. Overall, I liked it, but again, individual episodes, it just ran slow for me some parts. I loved where they ended the finale. I think Flash had the best season finale episode.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I thought how they defeated DeVoe was kind of lame. Like, I was just like, oh, you gotta, fight him off his emotions and stuff like that.
Well, you gotta go inside and fight him, yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh, okay, I could see that going. I'm kind of glad to see the Thinker gone, but I mean, like everything that happened, like Barry going to prison, like so. Like when I saw the knife set that he got for the wedding, I was just like, "What? Like, what's going on? Like, what's the significance of this?" And then you see it tied up to that, which is what 8 episodes later or something.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
That.
Yeah,
that was really interesting too. Plus, what I really liked about the season was the Thinker's chair. That was like his main...
You want one of those chairs, don't you?
Yeah, man. Like, that was like his main crutch for the whole beginning part of the season, you know? And then he started absorbing powers, which I thought was kind of lame.
I thought it was lame. The way he, like, took bodies and stuff like that. Yeah. I wasn't a big fan of that. If he would just absorb powers, maybe. But the fact he kept on switching bodies, I'm like... I'm like, if you skip an episode, you have no idea who that person is. Like, wait a minute. Yeah. Wasn't he just this other person, and now he's this person?
Well, and there were too many bus metas that he had.
Too many metas, yes. Yeah. I'll give you that.
Because what would happen is, like, I'm just like, how do you get the handcuffs on, the metahuman handcuffs off, and then I would see, oh yeah, that one guy has the computer power.
Yeah, exactly. All the powers that he had, you can keep track of them.
Yeah, it was hard, and then they never touched on him. They did it for that one episode, and then they didn't touch back on it.
They did, kind of, in the finale they did, because you saw him break into that building to set up the satellites, and then you saw him kind of use them sparsely, but I mean, you couldn't keep track of what powers he had and what they were. So again, there are too many bus metas. I agree with that. Yeah. The last one, of course, he took was Ralph's elongated man. He played a big part in this season. What did you think of Ralph?
Dude, I like how Barry trained him from the ground up, and he fully came through.
He can be a hero.
Ralph didn't he was like a disgraced cop, supposedly.
Yeah, exactly. PI.
And he was overweight, alcoholic, like hated his life, and then he got blessed with the metahuman powers, and Barry took him under his wing and
taught him how to be a hero.
Yeah, and then he changed him fundamentally, which I thought towards the end, where where he said, "You saved me, Barry," like I was just like, man, that was a relationship that I did like. They
definitely developed that, and of course he had a big part in getting Barry out of prison as he posed as Clifford as well. Cool. That was cool how he could shapeshift, because I don't think they've ever done that with Elongated Man in the comics, where changing. Of course he can stretch and stuff like that, but him actually using that to shapeshift was an interesting idea. Yeah, it makes sense though because of his powers. So that's pretty cool.
Changing his vocal cords, that was kind of a stretch at first, no pun intended. But
you saw him develop it throughout the season and get him more and more comfortable with his powers, learning what he can do. And Ralph, the character and the actor, are coming back as season regulars next season too. Yep. So obviously, I think they have more for him to do. And you think he's going to develop a relationship? I'm thinking Caitlin.
I don't know. I feel like
Caitlin's been through the ringer. Yeah. Caitlin has been through the ringer, definitely.
Everyone she falls in love with dies.
Well,
it's the worst. But I don't know.
I saw a couple moments in there where I think it could happen for them.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Caitlin's going to be that strong, feminine, solo kind of... Because, they have a habit of just putting people in relationships.
On the of course. Because that's what happens in life.
Yeah, no, I
agree. In life, man, we develop relationships.
I agree, but I think, I don't know. I would like to see her just kind of stay by herself, and develop... Because did she get her Killer Frost power back yet? Not really.
She didn't. No.
Yeah, so then she still needs to go, and
figure that out.
The whole latter part of the season was her coping with not, being with Killer Frost.
The dual identity, but then after that, she kind of missed her.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I thought that was kind of a cool little, cool little tidbit. What about Harry?
I was gonna get to Harry. Yeah. I know. I was just about to talk about Harry. Yeah. Yep. He lost his intelligence. He's like a regular, normal intelligence pretty much now. Yeah. And Cisco's so apologetic about it. And he's like, why, I mean, I'm still alive.
Yeah.
So let's, just go on from here. So he went to go see his daughter. Of course he's coming back.
Yeah.
Whether it's him or a different one. I'm glad. I want to stick with this Harry, though.
Yeah.
I like him as opposed to last season we got, what was the other one? HR, yeah. I like this Harry the best.
Yeah.
So I hope he comes back, even if he doesn't have, intelligence or whatever. Let's keep him in there. I don't want to see another Harry from another reality.
I don't know, man. The Council of Wells.
Let's keep that.
Yeah,
that's fine. It's just like a lot of stuff, Sprinkle that fun stuff in there.
Yeah.
When it becomes like a regular part of the show, though, that's when it stops being fun and gets stale.
Yeah.
So keep it in there, great. Yeah. But let's not jam it in there and overload.
Yeah. Well, and his vanity was like pretty much his downfall because like he just needed to be. The best, and he needed to outthink the thinker, and it's just, you're not going to do that.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll see him as a normal person, I don't know. It'd be weird. It'd be weird to see him as just like an average Joe, Like towards the end, he was saying, oh, you got to play on the emotions, you got to do all this kind of stuff. I thought that was cool and added some insight, but I still think, Harry being Harry is like the best part of Harry, Like he's so cold and
he's
calculated.
Cold, exactly, yeah.
And I think that was a cool part of that dynamic of the group. Plus the scenes with him and Cisco, man, those are fun.
Those are the best. Yeah, he's got that great relationship with Cisco, which is why Cisco took it so hard when he lost his intelligence. That I think it weighed a little bit on him. So I totally get that. Joe and his wife, Cecile got powers.
Yeah, that was kind of
so. Do you think their kid is gonna have powers because she had powers? Remember, we're talking genetics here.
Yeah,
passing them down.
I don't know. Like, was hers like dark matter? No, hers wasn't dark matter. Hers was like the particle accelerator.
Yes,
right?
It was.
Yeah. So, yeah. In that case, yeah, I feel like it would. I just don't know what power could it? Like, who could it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, there's just so many unanswered questions.
Exactly. I think she's going to keep her powers, and we'll see how it goes. I liked how she helped Harry, too, though.
Yeah.
Like, she looked into his brain to kind of grab that little bit of smarts and pull it out.
And she helped Joe. She helped Wally. Like, she's like a significant character. Like, secondary character.
I think she's going to be a regular part of the show now, too. Like, instead of just a reoccurring role, I think she's supposed to be a main character, too, in this.
Yeah. I don't know. We see her like carrying around a baby would be kind of weird though,
Well, of course, there are a lot of shows that take the baby and don't bring the baby in that much, because a lot of shows where they have like someone who has a baby or whatever, it's like a show like a cop show, and like someone has a baby. Well, you're not going to take your baby to work, which is how they get away with not showing the baby as much, know. Yeah. So if you have a baby, you're not going to take him into danger all this time.
Definitely not.
So they can hire a nanny. They both. Joe and Cecile both make decent money, so it's all right.
Yeah, and then also I want to see, this season, like maybe they bring back the jail. You know how the particle accelerator, they turned that into a prison?
Yeah, whatever happened to that, too?
So it just kind of died off. Like, they were keeping, who are they keeping in there? They were keeping like,
a lot of people.
Yeah, and then
a lot of people are in there.
And then it's just not a prison anymore? Yeah. Like, what's going on?
I don't know, yeah, exactly. What happened? I mean, if I was Thinker, the first thing I would do would release all those people,
If I was any villain, that'd be like my main thing. It's just like, release everyone that they ever locked up because they have something against.
Did they quit feeding them? Because they used to feed them
Big Belly?
Big Belly burger. And they used to, like, first off, they're probably so fat they can't move from all the Big Belly burger. That's all they feed them.
Yep.
So, okay, so let's jump to it. Finale. We find out this girl who has been teased ever since the wedding is their daughter.
Yep.
Now, in the comics, the Barry and Iris go on to have a set of twins, a guy and a girl, and I forget their name, but I know their daughter's name is not Nora in the comic books. So, of course, people speculated ever since her first scene that she was their daughter from the future. She comes back, says she screwed something up. I have no idea what she screwed up, but I want to see that part move forward with Barry and Iris about how they deal with their daughter.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking forward to, that relationship between those three this season, because they just got married this season. And in life, what happens is you get married, and as soon as you get married, people ask, when are you going to have kids?
Yep.
That's exactly what happens. So they're dealing with their daughter now. I like the actress, the way she plays it off, their personality, and I want to see how it goes against the whole team and how that plays.
Dude, so I find it hard to believe that Barry and Iris would have a daughter and she would time travel. Because if she did have superpowers,
Because
I
all
feel
the time
like
Barry warned her, maybe.
Well, I think like that would be like his main go-to thing. Like, don't you ever time, you know?
Well, as
like,
I said, she said, "I think I screwed up."
Yeah.
So maybe she went against her dad's wishes.
Yeah, you know, and then because Flashpoint, dude, like that changed everything.
Well, and here's another thing: is she's from the future. Okay, she knows what happens to everybody.
Yeah.
So maybe she could. We're gonna get hints, I'm sure, about hey, what happens? Does Cisco die? Does Barry die? What happens to these characters, 30 years or 20 years in the future?
Yeah. Well, and then wasn't there like a episode where he goes to the future? Oh, I can't remember. I feel like there was an episode where Barry goes to the future and then he deals with Oliver.
No, there wasn't. There was that episode. I think it was last season or something. He went to the alternate timeline, I believe. Yeah, no, they went to Earth 2. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
And they were different on Earth 2 because you remember Iris did that little sexy thing she did because she's hot.
Yeah. And everyone was dead. Yeah, I don't know. I want to see what the future has for them. That would be cool. I want to see, because we see the Legends go to the future last season. Yeah. I want to see Barry go to the future.
Has to go to the future. So I don't know. I mean, he doesn't want to time travel anymore.
Yeah, no,
I
agree.
he might have to.
Yeah, likeliness.
I would like to see maybe some flashbacks or whatever of Nora, and if you tell kind of her story about how she got into trouble, you're gonna have to talk about the future, and what she did, maybe what decisions she made or what happened to make her decide to come back to the past.
Well, what'd be cool is how Arrow did flashbacks. Maybe they do flash forwards for that.
I don't like that because then it's one of those things where hey, if I know what happened to Barry or what happened to Cisco, and I'm I don't really want to know what happens to them. I just want to go in there blindly. Let's go in the series blindly, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think it adds it's
kind of like
a cliffhanger though.
Well, because in Arrow, I didn't really care a lot about the flashbacks because I'm I know what happens to Oliver, so why do I care about all this other junk about how he got there? He's on the island. Yeah. Shit happens to him, and then he became the Arrow.
Yeah, but Anatoly, he met Anatoly in season 2.
I know, but it's one of the things. Again, it's one of the things. 20 episodes. There's a lot of dead weight.
Yeah,
and that's what a lot of the flashback stuff in Arrow I thought was dead weight.
I don't know. That was all the Deathstroke stuff. That's all my favorite stuff.
Of course. Well, Deathstroke was good. Okay, let's just jump into it. The one that started it all, Arrow season 6. Yep. All right, so this one he was fighting Diaz. Well, he started off the season 6 fighting the computer guy. I forget what his name was.
What was his name?
Was it Chase?
No, it wasn't. Adrian Chase was the last one. It was. What was that dude's name?
Hold on. Let's see if I can find it here. Hold on. We're going to hold on a sec here, guys. Just bear with us here because I know it's here somewhere in one of these episodes. It's coming along. I'm going to find it. You just wait. It's going to be in here. I'm stalling and just talking and filling airspace because I'm looking at IMDb trying to find it. Oh, my computer froze. What the hell? God damn it. Okay.
What was his name? It was...
Hold on. That's got Ricardo Diaz is in there and totally Noah Boots, Vincent... Curtis Holt, nope. What is his name? I don't think we're going to figure this out, actually.
No, dude, we got to know.
We have
James.
Ken James. Boom! There it is. Ken James. We found it. Yeah. Yes. Okay, so Ken James originally was the first half this season's villain because he thought that Oliver had killed his son.
Yep.
Turns out it was all a ruse by Diaz to, turn Caden against Oliver, light the city on fire, so to speak.
Yeah.
And kind of go from there. And then, of course, at the end, they catch Diaz, they stop him, but not before there's some tragedy going on, and Diaz is still alive.
Yeah.
And the FBI is going to occupy Star City until he's caught, and Oliver makes a deal, goes to jail, reveals to the world that he is indeed Green Arrow, even though there have been many times throughout this series
where they
thought he's been arrested because they thought he was Green Arrow.
Yep.
This is actually kind of confirming it, I guess, so to speak. So, Green Arrow season 6, go for it.
All right, so this season made me appreciate the villain of last season, Adrian Chase, because we had Caden James in the beginning. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was probably the weakest part of the whole season. There was some cool stuff that happened.
I kind of give you that, yeah.
But with Ricardo Diaz, I feel like he's a kingpin because the whole time Oliver was fighting a battle that he didn't know that was going on.
Which I like too. They give us a little background on it too. There was those flashbacks and stuff with Diaz as well.
Yeah.
Where you kind of get how he became that. I enjoyed that.
Well, and then he pretty much had the season on, around, or he pretty much, this season he had the whole city around his finger, and they didn't really release it till the 2/3 through the whole season. Because when Kaden James was, messing around with Oliver and, doing all the hacking stuff and, trying to get Oliver, it just, I don't know, it just made me feel like, what's his name? Not Kaden James. What's the other one? Ricardo Diaz. He already had the city on lock. He was just stringing Oliver along. When last season, Adrian Chase was like one step ahead. He was like 3 steps ahead of Oliver the whole time, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because I thought last season was kind of weak. But after seeing this season, I'm just like, what happened?
See, I thought season 5 was probably one of the better seasons since season 2.
Yeah.
Like, season 1, season 2 were great. Season 3 was, it was okay, but then season 4 was just crap, and I never ever want to watch season 4 again.
Yeah.
Season 5, I thought, got back to more of the roots.
Yeah.
It was better. Kind of fell off a little towards the end there.
Yeah.
This season, I'm just like, bleh.
Yeah.
It's like, bleh.
In the beginning, it was, pretty much Team Arrow breaking apart. Fracturing and all that kind of stuff. So you had to deal with that. And then, the best part of the season, I thought, was when Dig and Oliver start fighting each other. I thought that was cool, man.
I felt like this. Okay, so his supporting cast, I'm like, okay, Diggle. As soon as they started fighting, I'm like, okay, they're gonna fight and they're gonna get back together.
Yeah.
And the B team, I call them the B team,
yeah.
with Black Canary, Mr. Terrific, and War Dog. I'm like, as soon as they split off, I was like, thank God, these people are utterly useless.
Yep.
Every one of those characters is utterly useless in this show. I loved it because then you had Felicity, Diggle, and Oliver, the original 3. That's what it should be. You're bringing in maybe 1 or 2 other people, but I hate all 3 of those characters. I think they're utterly useless.
I love Dinah.
I know you just because she's hot. I get it. You think she's hot.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say, it did have that kind of aspect where Laurel, Black Siren, killed what's his name, the vigilante.
Yeah.
In which case, it pissed her off and kind of set Canary versus Canary there.
That was kind of a cool
a little bit of thing. Yeah, I get it, but I will say, I told you this. I remember we were watching. We check in and talk to each other at work in regards to it. And I'm like, you know what? I think Black Siren's going good.
Yeah.
I think she's going good.
Called it.
And she did. Because she you can say however she grew up or whatever, but she's Laura Lance.
Yeah.
And you had the love of her father there to bring her back to the light.
Yeah.
And that was the best part of the season for me, was Black Siren.
Yeah. Okay, so this is my prediction of next season. Before the mid-season finale of next season, I really think Felicity's going to go away or die or something. And then it's going to transition back into the Dinah Laurel Lance.
Okay. This is something we talked about last season.
I know.
I was Team Laurel. You were Team Felicity.
I still love Oliver and Felicity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so rumor has it, I think someone said that actually Felicity's going to get pregnant this next season, is what I've heard. So I don't think she's going anywhere. That's fine. I think even Stephen Amell has said himself that it's Oliver and Felicity.
Yeah.
I don't believe that for a second, because in the comics, it's Laurel and Oliver.
Yeah.
That's what it is in the comics. I fully expect her to come and to be Black Canary. Let's get rid of the current Black Canary because, like I said, she's useless.
Yeah.
She has nothing to do now, especially now that her lover is dead.
Yeah, no vendetta.
Yeah, exactly.
She really has no purpose.
She has no purpose, much like the other 2.
Yeah.
The B team sucks.
Yeah.
I don't like them at all. I hope they all die.
Dude, I hate Wild Dog so much.
They're all
so
freaking
much.
whiners. They're all whiners. This whole season's like, how could you lie to us? Oh my God. I'm like, shut up, you little bitches.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. The B team.
Yeah.
I hated the B team. Anyway, getting off it. So, but I think she's going to come back in the fold as Black Canary. I would love to see, of course, her and Oliver hookups, maybe something by the end of this series.
Yeah.
By the end of this series, whenever it may be, I think it's going to be back to Oliver and Laurel.
I agree.
That's what I want it to be.
Yeah.
But, Felicity is such a fan favorite character.
Yeah.
People are clinging to her. Okay, let's look at it like this, okay? You know me. I don't hate the character of Felicity. I hate Oliver and Felicity.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like. These 2 characters being together don't make sense for me. And I'll put it to you like this, okay?
You're just too biased.
No, I'm not biased.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay, season 1 and season 2 of Arrow were great, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. Season 3, not bad. Season 4 obviously sucks, right?
Yeah.
Season 5, beginning of season 5, like I said, was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay, and then it trailed off, okay? You know those parts where I said were good?
Yeah.
Those are the parts of the series that Felicity and Oliver were not together.
Yeah.
Boom!
Yeah.
Laid the bomb on you kids, okay? Oliver and Felicity, in my opinion, is the worst part of this show. I hate that, it's dragging it through the mud when it could be so much more.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm getting worked up here now.
But, I don't know. With Arsenal's coming back next season, right?
He's coming back.
Isn't he coming back? Or
I don't know if he's maybe guest starring. I think he is, maybe.
I think he's coming
because
back
Thea left too. I forgot Thea left this season too.
Thea left
with him.
Yep.
And he's supposed. I think Roy is supposed to come back.
Yeah. So I think he's coming back, and I don't know. So I want to see Felicity and Oliver eventually, see separate ways. We don't, we're good as a team, but we're not good together, kind of thing.
It was exactly how they ended season 4, and they started season 5 that way, and I loved it. She had her new guy. He was hooking up with the reporter.
Yeah.
They realized that they just weren't good together. I get it. Especially, oh my God, season 4, when she was paralyzed for what? 2 episodes?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I thought that, when she was actually paralyzed, that was, I think, some really good storytelling with their relationship. It's probably the only time I've actually liked their relationship because it gave them a struggle, something different and something to go through instead of just hey, let's be together. But then, oh, nope, I got a chip on my back, so we're all good.
Yeah.
And also, I felt it was a little insulting to the handicapped community, too, in my opinion. Because how great would it have been if she would have continued to be paralyzed throughout the rest of it?
I don't know. I think
everyone's talking.
You can miss those 3 episodes and nothing will change.
Well, you keep on talking. People keep talking about diversity and in your superhero genre and your geek. You want more ethnicities and gay people and all that stuff. How great would it have been to have seen someone like that in a wheelchair be a regular part of the show, but still be a strong character.
Yeah.
Not be like, hey, you're in a wheelchair. Here's a chip.
Yeah.
Now you're not.
Yeah, there you go. Problem solved.
We're getting off season 6 here. Okay. Anyway, so gosh, what do I want to talk about? What else can we talk about in the season? Let's just jump.
Okay, what do you think is going to go with Adrian Chase? Or not
Diaz.
Diaz. Yeah,
he's still alive. He didn't kill him.
He has a new crew, right?
He flew off a building and he's still alive.
Yeah.
That's all we know. I think he's got that vendetta against Oliver. I don't know. I mean, really, it's all the same. That's the thing about this show is I feel like they're just playing the same things over and over again without any real stakes, in my opinion. And yes, at the end we lost Detective Lance.
Yeah.
But I'm like, he had served his purpose though. He had redeemed Black Siren.
Yeah.
And it's and that's the thing, most of these characters have no purpose.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense to they need to continue to grow and evolve. And I feel like a lot of these characters are stuck in a loop. And I'm like, let them grow, let them be different. I mean, my God's sakes, let's look, so I'll compare to Game of Thrones. Jon Snow is a completely different person than he was when the season started, okay?
Oh, yeah.
I don't feel like a lot of these characters are any way different than when they started this series.
I don't know, Jon's more independent, Black Siren's, or Laurel's kind of turning good again.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Not only because she's a different Laurel. She's not the actual Laurel in, this Earth. She's a different Earth Laurel. She's almost like a completely fresh character who has gone through a great story arc, who was so bad, and now he's starting to see good. I don't think she's going to go completely good, but she's eventually going to get there.
Yeah. Well, and I have no problem with a hero that doesn't mind getting their hands dirty every now and then.
Exactly, and which
like
Oliver does.
Yeah.
Which is fine and stuff too.
Yeah. But I don't know. Next season's going to be interesting. Next season, I think, is going to be, I don't know. I mean, it can only get up from here, I think.
It can only get up from here, right? Okay, we're almost to an hour-long mark, so let's go into it, man.
All right.
Crisis on Earth X.
All right.
This came out, and it was the 4-way crossover with the shows, and it was about these people from Earth X, the 53rd, Earth or whatever, and where the Nazis won World War II. And you had Oliver was kind of the leader, and then you had Supergirl
the general
as his wife. You had Zoom helping him out. It was different, and they came to Earth basically for Supergirl because their Supergirl was dying, and they wanted to steal, Kara's heart. Pretty much is what it all came down to. Oh my God, So awesome.
Yeah.
So awesome.
And you know what's cool about that is if our Oliver and our Kara decided, hey, we want to take over the world, they
could.
Yeah.
He's smart enough and ruthless enough, and she's powerful enough.
Yeah.
And that's okay. That's another thing. Okay, I forgot. Going back to Supergirl, this is a world where Supergirl's Earth is one where not a lot of super beings exist, unlike, say, the regular Earth with Flash and Legends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we've seen Superman.
Yeah.
Okay? Where the hell was Superman when all this shit's falling apart? When Supergirl was off-world and shit was going down, where was Superman? Okay?
Yeah.
He can easily fly over to, the city and help out a little bit.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't know. Supergirl's weak. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. Going back to Crisis. So, Barry and Iris's wedding, and I loved that song that Carl sang.
Yeah.
I totally forgot. It was from the musical episode.
Uh-huh.
I love that song now.
Yeah.
I love that song now. It's so great. I love it. The wedding was great. You brought all these characters together. So let's go sad stuff first. Firestorm.
Yeah.
Martin.
That was...
They set that up. They started setting that up at the beginning of this Legends season.
Yep.
Came to fruition, and
Yeah.
waterworks on my face, man.
Yeah.
It was done, especially the funeral.
Yep.
When Jackson started crying and goes to his wife and daughter, I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
god, I lost it.
Martin was such a good character.
But they again, it's one of the things that I love TV over film is you have so many more hours to get to know these characters, to bond with these characters. So when stuff like this happens and they play it right, they do it right.
Yep.
It gets to you.
I know. And you know what? Like Jefferson, the whole time he didn't want to break up Firestorm. He just wanted to, keep Stein there, and Stein was just pulling away, wanted to be with his family.
Which is weird though, because so let's think about something. Remember Flashpoint. The whole reason he has a family or a grandchild is because of Flashpoint too,
Yeah.
So because of Barry's Flashpoint, that's why he wanted to no longer be Firestorm.
Yeah. But I think with age, that's kind of what you want to do.
Of course,
you want to be with your family.
Exactly.
And stuff like that.
We have my mom's thinking about moving down here just so she can be with Nora and stuff like that. You know.
And I think that's that played. That's why I think that's why it tugged at your heartstrings, because there's a valid reason for him to want. But you wanted them to stay together, and he tried his best, because did he make some kind of serum to make Jefferson?
He made a serum where he tried to get Jefferson to be just Firestorm by himself.
Yeah.
But I think they said it wouldn't work. No, it was the one where they tried it or whatever, and it turned out they switched bodies. That goofy episode in Legends, and it just didn't work.
Yeah. So I don't know.
The way they played that off was so great, and that scene where he's telling Jefferson to take the serum to kill him just so he can save Jefferson. I was like, man. Yeah, that was awesome. And then I love at the end, when he dies, Jefferson walks out and Sarah walks in to realize what's going on.
Yeah.
And she kisses him. Wow, it's great.
Yeah.
The way they played that whole thing out was so great.
Yeah. All I could say is if it was me in that shoes, I would have just died. I think Firestorm was because I see Firestorm as one person.
Yeah.
Even though they're two separate people.
But, you wouldn't. You are so close to that other person. I mean.
Yeah. Well, they're
you can't let them die.
Yeah, they have a mental capacity and everything, and
He wasn't gonna. If you care about someone that much, you're not gonna let them die just to hold on to your last breath.
Yeah.
Because eventually you're gonna kill both of them anyway.
Yeah.
So. But that was great. Let's go to the fun part then. Alex and Sarah.
That was the day after thing.
The whole thing was just great. I knew as soon as when I knew they were gonna meet up, and I'm like, oh yeah,
this is gonna happen.
It's like a highlight for the whole Arrowverse this year. I was like, it's great. But then of course you have the whole aspect with. For Sarah, it's just Sarah being Sarah, having fun.
Yeah.
Now, she wouldn't be that way because she's in a relationship. She's found someone.
Yeah.
And the same way where Alex is on the other end of it, where she just got out of a relationship.
Yeah.
She starts challenging if I can do this.
Yeah, looking for fun.
Looking for fun. Why did I break up with Maggie? All that other stuff. I get it. But then at the end, Sarah gives her a little bit of advice, which makes her realize, what? Nothing's changed.
Yeah.
You are who you are. Maggie is who she is. And that's what it is.
Yeah.
But goddamn.
Yeah, I don't know, that part where Kara's looking at Alex and just man, she's going to town. He's like, no one can drink under the table, and then
Sarah shows up, and
then
Sarah shows up. Yeah,
I was just like,
and especially at the wedding too, they team up to fight.
Yeah,
they fight that evil Tommy.
Yeah,
they fight evil Tommy, and they kick his butt, and that's awesome too because they're both characters that are very physical. They don't have any superpowers.
Yep.
They can just whoop ass.
Yep.
So that was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man, what I mean. Okay. I hate the last part, the actual ceremonies, the double wedding.
Oh, the double wedding.
No.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Where Barry goes and grabs Diggle to finish their ceremony, and then Felicity and Oliver tag on.
Yeah.
It's like one of the things like I feel like Oliver, Iris and Barry, Barry and Iris have been like, are you like stealing our moment here, or what?
Yeah.
I'm like, gosh, dang it! I was like, it would have been a great moment if it was just Iris and Barry, but then Oliver and Felicity decided to step in, and I get it. Throughout this whole arc, there was that thing where Felicity was like, no, I don't want to marry you, and they had that whole thing where Oliver was trying to get her in danger, and all that, the whole crossover. It was them trying to sort out their relationship and what they want.
Yeah.
So I get where it ended. I just don't like that it was a double wedding.
Well, okay, so I prefer the double wedding rather than there being one wedding in one season and another wedding in another season.
No.
Like I'm more of like a Band-Aid. Like, okay, they're both married. We rip off the Band-Aid. Now we can move on with the actual storyline. So, if they were gonna get married, I'm glad they got married that way. But flip side of the coin, if Oliver and Felicity never got married, I'd probably be a little happier.
I would be so fine, but let's go back to the previous conversation we had. But anyway, but it was just so fun. And you had, again, like I said, the thing I love about the Arrowverse is you have these B, C, D-rated characters that work so well, because they're telling a good story. I mean, it was awesome because I'm sitting there and I'm watching, I'm watching the Ray, who nobody really has ever heard of, the Flash, hunt down Red Tornado, and they're fighting. And I'm like, oh my God, my sweaty nerd brain is exploding by seeing this live action on a screen.
Yeah.
And ask any comic book nerd who loves DC and has read these characters for years, they enjoyed Crisis on Earth X more than they enjoyed Justice League the movie.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I ask anyone who's read comic books, that was so much more satisfying than the Justice League movie we got.
Yeah.
And that's what, because it was a much better crafted story with characters that we had known for several years and grown attached to.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's what it was, and it was so satisfying. So, anything else you want to comment on this before we wrap up? I mean, we didn't comment. Of course, there was the whole. I love Rory. All his comments and stuff like that. Yeah. I thought it weird though that there were some characters that weren't invited to Iris and Barry's. Like some of the Legends characters, like Ray. Ray didn't show up till afterwards. Like Ray worked with them. He knows them pretty well. Yeah. Why wasn't he invited to the wedding? And like some of the other characters were. You know.
I don't know. I feel like there wasn't enough screen time for all of them.
There wasn't. I mean, that's the thing.
4 hours for all those people.
I mean, your focus was on your main three, of course. You had Barry, Oliver, and Kara, you know? And that's fine. Yeah. That's how it's supposed to be. That is the trinity of the CW universe. Much like how in DC Comics you have Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman that are considered the trinity, the main three of DC Comics. Oliver, Barry, and Kara are the main three of the Arrowverse.
Yep, for sure.
And that's just how it goes.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I'm so satisfied. So, to wrap up, let's look ahead. Okay. Next season, their crossover, they've already said, is going to involve Batwoman.
Oh, what?
Now, Batwoman is a character where she is kind of out of vendetta for the mob, but we're bringing in Gotham.
Yeah.
They're actually going to bring in Gotham City into this. The fact that Gotham, the show, is ending next season as well. Are we going to get more Batman? Because really, Arrow is Batman.
Yeah.
Like, Oliver is Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Like, Oliver Queen in the comics acts totally different.
Yeah, he's goofy, right?
Yeah, he's more of a fun character.
Yeah.
More of a playboy than more of a serious one. So really, we get Batman in Arrow is what it is. So I'm curious if they're going to bring more elements of Batman into it. Are we going to see just Batwoman? Or, again, I'm curious if they're going to bring Black Lightning into it. How are they going to bring Supergirl back over for another crossover?
I don't know. Like, I think Batman,
how do they top Earth X?
I don't know. Like, well, okay. So if they do introduce Gotham, I think Gotham has some of the best villains. Yeah. Batman has like,
but it's all about the hands off because what they're doing, because the film division of Warner Brothers and DC has no idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
So like we got Manu Bennett back early in the season as Deathstroke.
Yeah.
But then they decided, we're going to use Deathstroke plans in the movie, and they took him back out again.
Yeah.
Again, same thing with like 2 seasons ago when the Suicide Squad movie was coming out,
Yeah.
and you had Amanda Waller,
Waller,
and
yeah.
Deadshot.
Yeah.
Well, we got to take them out because we can't have them in the show when we're going to try to sell them in the movie.
Yeah.
I'm like, and then it all failed, and then you take these great characters that
And
were
they're
in
gone.
the show,
Yeah.
and they're gone.
Yeah.
Like you can't bring in Deathstroke, who's a great character.
Yeah.
I liked Amanda Waller.
Amanda Waller was like, all right, I think Argus in general
Yeah.
is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
I love Argus.
Yeah.
Like, and Amanda Waller is just a queen.
I liked it when
bee,
she
man.
was running it more than when Diggle's wife was running it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm very curious what the crossover of next season is going to be. Now, also next season, the CW has decided, most stations, they do their regular shows Monday through Friday. CW has so many shows, they're going to Sunday next year.
Yeah.
They're going to Sunday. They changed up the lineup. Hold on. Let me see. I'm going to try to pull this up here and see if I can pull up the lineup for next season for the CW, because everything's like on a different night almost. I'm trying to think. I think Flash is on Tuesday night, I think, with Arrow, perhaps. Hold on. CW Fall 2018 lineup. Here we go. So let's see here. So Supergirl moves to Sunday, was the headline on this one. So, okay. So Sunday is Supergirl and their new Charm show. Monday, you get Legends Tomorrow and Arrow. And then
okay.
Tuesday is Flash and Black Lightning. Okay, so you get all your superhero shows in those first 3 days, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, they doubled up on them because, like, you got Monday and Tuesday is full of superhero shows, is really what it comes down to. And then you got their other shows throughout. But yeah, I mean, no other network really does the Sunday night thing too much. So it'll be interesting to see how they do it. But yeah, so there we go, man. That is it. Anything else you want to comment on before we sign off?
Nope. That's it. I love the Arrowverse.
Yeah, Arrowverse is keeping
Let's
strong.
see Gotham.
God, no.
Yes.
I've tried watching Gotham. It's a piece of shit.
Well, no, not Gotham series. I want to see Gotham in the Arrowverse.
Gotham in the city, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see more characters. Give me more of those lesser-known characters because they craft them so...
Yeah.
Elongated Man.
Yeah.
Elongated Man has always played second fiddle to Plastic Man.
Yeah.
And granted, in the comics, he's a more serious character, and really they had a mixture of... Ralph in Flash this season was a mixture between the two characters.
Yeah.
He really was. They have the same powers. Personality-wise, it's kind of a mixture between the two.
Yeah.
But Elongated Man, nobody knew who the hell that was.
I had no idea.
Ray.
Yeah.
The Ray. Nobody cared about the Ray, but now the animated series is on the CWC. They're playing with that. It's great. Again, they know how to tell a story. Now, granted, I don't like, again, I will never like how long the seasons are and how drawn out it is, but...
That's
overall,
how they make money, man. That's all the advertising they sell. It's going to be like that forever.
I know. I guess what if you could improve? Let's take Supergirl out, okay?
Okay.
Out of the other shows, if you could improve one of the other 4 shows for the better, which one would you want to see improved more?
Man, I would love to see.
Because I want Arrow to be better. Obviously, we both want Supergirl to be better.
Yeah.
I want Arrow to be better.
I feel like Arrow's pretty good as is.
It's so repetitive, man. It's so repetitive.
I'm biased. I want to see Legends. I want to see Booster Gold.
Yeah,
That's all I care about.
Because I love Arrow. I watch it because I love, Oliver. I love, the fact that he's just, kind of like, a guy who's regular and he just, trains his body and he's just good at what he does, which is awesome, So I like the character. I like, the characters.
Yeah.
They just need to do something new.
Yeah.
I feel like we're playing the same stuff out.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, you're right. There's not much more they could. I mean, I don't know.
They're coming to season 7, and season 7 is a time when a lot of shows dwindle out too.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't know. All right, guys. Well, that is it, and I know we have gone on a while. Hopefully, you've stuck with us this whole time. But it's time for you to fire back. Give us your ranking of the seasons. Let us know what you think about what we've talked about. Of course, as always, are you team Lance, Laurel, or are you team Felicity?
Yep.
Boo. And that is it for us. I'll be back next week with a regular show. Until then, may the force be with us all.